Hello, hi. It's your boy, Shike Slane, or Levi or Esther, whatever the fuck you want to call me. Anyways, I'm not doing well today. I just woke up. I saw that stupid video that Synnibear03's made, and I am absolutely fucking flabbergasted. So, watch me make a response while I draw something in the background, I guess. It's been a while since I made any of these, this kind of videos, so don't fucking bash me. Also, this is unscripted, so I'm sorry if I go off topic and this video, becomes longer and shit. Anyways, let's get going.
And I believed him because I trusted him. But Jack doesn't know what he's talking about. I made my confession under duress. I fully believed I was a groomer because Jack told me I was one.
Now here's the thing. You kind of are. I'm just saying you are.
My conversations with Enno, while inappropriate and irresponsible, trust me, you will never fucking catch me trying to act like this was an okay thing to do. I wasn't flirting with Enno. My messages have been misinterpreted in the most bad faith and malicious manner possible.
Okay, now this is also one of the criticisms I have about the internet, because a lot of people were misinterpreting Synnibear to be a pedophile, which is not true from the evidence I've seen. I could be wrong because I'm not super knowledgeable on that part, but I can assure you she's not a pedophile, because a pedophile would like to establish a relationship, a romantic relationship with a child. Synni didn't really do that. She groomed the child. There's a difference. You can become a pedophile out of a groomer, from what I understand, but it still doesn't really correlate, I'm not sure how I should explain this in other words, but she is not a pedophile. She is a groomer, a totally different thing. And all the jokes that are saying, like, Synni loves Frisk, or School loves Frisk, or whatever the fuck y'all say, it is not true, because Synnibear does not love this child. She was just extremely inappropriate with a child, with a minor. That's the difference, in my opinion. But I could be wrong. I don't really, take it with a grain of salt, basically.
I looked to Birdie for any and all information on these subjects because it was their, quote, special interest.
Why would you look at someone for this stuff and not search it up yourself? Like, not everyone is super reliable when it comes to this stuff. They could get their information wrong. You can legitimately just Google this stuff. Or you can ask your therapist, which you mentioned later down the line, that you do go to a therapist and that they somehow said that you aren't a groomer. I'm pretty sure Synni twisted the story a little bit to make it seem like she's not the groomer, but she is.
Here are some actual qualifiers for what constitutes as grooming, as is listed by a simple Google search. Isolation of the child. Building the child's trust. Inappropriate communication, which includes asking for secrets to be kept, and using sexual language that the child may not understand. And educating the child on the subject. Buying gifts. Giving gifts. Giving the child special attention, singling out the child to make them feel more mature, special, or different from other children, showing particular interest in the child, victim selection, and substance misuse.
She already checks like 3 or 4 of those boxes, so...
Enno was actually already isolated when they first met me. Enno has told me directly that they only ever speak to like 3 people, that being Sophia the Neko, me, and another person I don't know.
Okay, isolation is off the table.
Building the child's trust. I don't think I was ever even interested in building their trust.
The trust was still there though. Even if you did it or not, the child felt comfortable around you. Comfortable enough to share art with you, to share weird fantasies with you, to share basically every inappropriate thing under the sun. The trust was there, and that is either you did it intentionally or not. You checked that box.
Inappropriate communication. The examples given are asking for secrets to be kept, using sexual language the child may not understand, and educating the child on the subject. I will not deny that my conversations were inappropriate and I shouldn't have been having them, to begin with. The only instance of me asking them to keep something a secret would be me saying to them, please don't tell the public I'm depraved. The secret's kinda just out now, I don't care anymore. I never intended to keep our relationship a secret. That was never even something I was intending to hide. It was also never my intention to educate Enno on any particular, sex shit. I don't know.
Okay, so besides the fact that this was a deliberate lie, that this was not meant to be kept as a secret, because apparently you did try to keep it as a secret, especially from your own roommate. I feel like throughout this entire video where she lists, just in general, where she lists those points, I feel like she sees like one example, and she goes onto that one example and hangs onto it and says like, I didn't do this, so therefore I'm not a groomer. This is proof that I didn't groom a child because I didn't teach them about sex or what any of those explicit terms mean when I say it. Is that just me? I feel like that's just me, but like, that's how this video feels like to me. Besides the whole being whiny and shit later down the line, because this video is whiny as hell.
Buying gifts or giving gifts. Didn't do that.
I agree with this one in a way. Synni didn't really buy gifts or give gifts to this child. I didn't really look through the document all that well, because I'm just terrified to see what's in there, and because of my own trauma and yada yada, you get it. And I don't really, like, I'm going off of what she says in this video, basically. And like, even so, you still sent like a bunch of stuff. Apparently, allegedly, I'm not sure though. People have been saying that you sent inappropriate art of that child to them. I'm not sure though, because like I said, I didn't look through the actual document about this whole thing.
Giving the child special attention. Examples given are singling out the child to make them feel more mature, special, or different from other children. The fact that I was talking to Enno at all could be seen as me giving them special attention.
Yeah, it could be seen as you giving them special attention, because that's kind of how it works, you know? Whenever you want to try and talk to a person that you look up to, and that person responds, it makes you feel special. It makes you feel like they're giving you special attention. And whether it was your intention or not, you were technically making them feel special and giving them attention.
So firstly, I am a hetero woman. I am attracted to men, as you can see from these fucking cringy-ass conversations that I had with Enno. I did not want to date Enno. I never considered that as an option. I did not reach out to Enno, and it took Enno 3 months of persistently pestering, prying, and giving me gifts before I finally gave in and spoke to them.
Again, pedophilia and grooming are not exactly the same thing, because pedophiles want to establish a romantic relationship with a child. Groomers just want to establish a relationship with a child, and then they do weird acts to do so. They don't really want to date them, they just want to use them for either their weird fantasies, like Synni did, or something completely different. So again, Synnibear is not a pedophile, but she is a groomer.
I wasn't super interested in talking to them until they sent me an image of me laying in bed, and I made a joke about it being inaccurate because Boy wasn't there. Once Enno started indulging in my very strong autistic infatuation with Boy, that's when I started talking a lot more. And as we kept talking, I felt a lot more comfortable sharing certain things about the character that I liked, including personal fantasies.
There was no need for you to do that, honestly. You could have just said, thank you for the fan art, and that's about it. You did not need to go down that rabbit hole. I'm pretty sure all of your other friends had the same interest as you or something. Or at least you could talk to them about this interest of yours. You did not need to go after a child to talk about this, which then evolved into grooming. I'm just saying that there was no need for you to talk to this minor at all. You could have just taken the fan art, said a compliment about the fan art, and left. Or even blocked the child, honestly. Both work. You did not need to engage in a conversation with that child at all.
So I never considered that there was an existing dynamic that sounded similar to my conversations. This was 2 girls talking about Jeremiah down the block and how hot he is.
No, this was an adult and a child talking about whatever the fuck you were talking about. I couldn't care less what you were talking about. It was inappropriate. You should have left it at that. Really not hard of a concept to understand.
And I shouldn't have done it. I regret it a lot. I should have made the responsible choice and stopped these conversations before they even happened.
Yes, you should have. Seeing how you knew that this was wrong throughout the entire conversation or conversations that you had with this child, I'm surprised you didn't think once in these conversations that maybe you should filter yourself a little bit more. I'm surprised you didn't get the memo. Just like, hey, yo, this is a child. I know this is a child. I know this is wrong. So why the fuck am I still doing it? You can't blame the child for knowing your hyperfixation on a character. Like, you can't. You just have similar interests. There's nothing else to it. Even so, even if you have similar interests, that does not mean that you can talk to that child about it, because it will be weird at the end of the day. Either because you talked to a minor in the first place, or because it resulted in you grooming them.
But I think anyone listening to what Jack said should be able to recognize that what actually happened is he retracted his consent long after what happened. Which is not only disheartening, but I believe constitutes slander. As someone who has been sexually abused in the past, as a child, the fact that he's so comfortable weaponizing our consensual touching not only makes me unholy levels of pissed off, but also makes me feel extremely heartbroken.
Now here's the thing, right? I don't know how this works in a human brain, but let's say, for example, you've been bullied, right? In school, for example. And then later on down the line, you bully someone else. That's kind of how it works. That's what I've seen happens with people. A lot. It's more common than you think. So I'm pretty sure it's like a trauma response, I would say. I'm not sure. I'm not knowledgeable, nor do I have any tabs open right now, so I can't really fact check. I'm just saying from my own experience. Or like, you live in an abusive household, like verbally abusive household to be more specific, and then you basically, like, your parents yell at you, and then sometimes you also lash out at other people. That's just how it works. You become that person. That's why things like generational trauma exists. It's sad, I know, but it does exist. And I'm pretty sure it could be the same for sexual assault or harassment. You were sexually assaulted or harassed in the past, and then you do the same thing to a close person of yours. I'm not sure why the human brain does that, or why it thinks it's an okay action to an extent, but it just does. It's probably a trauma response, where it's a familiar feeling. I'm not saying that Synni does have this trauma response, because Jack's video is a bit iffy when it comes to that, but also, if you do, I suggest you don't deny it. If you do have this problem, you need to work on it.
Jack and I had lived together for about 9 months, and in that time we established a friendship with boundaries still being discovered. I deliberately asked Jack if the things I was doing were okay, and Jack said they were. I was not under the impression that Jack was not comfortable or even unhappy with these silly acts of poking and squishing. Had Jack communicated to me as such, I would have stopped and apologized profusely. Given the nature of our friendship and the level of intimacy we shared, I half-jokingly asked Jack to sit on my face while clothed, to which he politely declined, and I respected their answer.
Okay, now here's where shit gets stupid, right? Because, like, Jack is inexperienced. He himself has stated that he didn't have any friends growing up, or just many in general. And this was the first time someone actually was explicitly sexual with him, from my understanding anyways. Here's the thing, like I said, he's inexperienced when it comes to the field such as friendship. And that is understandable, because everyone who's inexperienced would say that they did not know that this wasn't a common thing between friends. And that's why he consented, because he thought that it was okay, that this is what friends do. And I'm pretty sure he also felt pressure, but that's just my take. I don't know. I wasn't there, so I can't really speak on anyone's behalf on this, because I know what it's like to be inexperienced when it comes to friendship. So that's why you just take whatever they give you, and also say yes a lot. And also I'm pretty sure he's a people pleaser.
TLDR, Jack has grossly misinterpreted our relationship in a manner that really fucking hurts, dude.
People do this a lot. People have different interpretations of what actually happened. And that's not really, I wouldn't say okay, but that's just how he interpreted the entire situation. He saw it as a very sexual, non-consensual act, and you saw it as okay because he consented to it, because he was inexperienced, or he felt pressured, or he's a people pleaser, whatever, one of the above. And it is good to have two sides of the story, to see the inconsistencies, to see the actual story, like what actually happened. And that's okay. You see it, like I said, that's totally fine. But to Jack, it was traumatizing. And I just want you to understand that this was not okay, and that you maybe should apologize and say that you experienced it like this, but that you are in fact sorry that you actually did this stuff with him. Did you ever consider that he felt pressured? I'm just asking.
Jack's GoFundMe is a scam and it's slanderous. Jack's selling point on the GoFundMe that raised over $10,000 in like 3 days was that he didn't feel safe living with me anymore. As if I'm some sort of evil, deranged, violent rapist that was gonna groom Jack next for saying awful shit about me in the next room.
Can I just ask, how is this a scam? Because, like, technically it's not a scam if he wants to get out of the household that he does not feel comfortable in. He wanted to raise that money because he couldn't afford another apartment or house, whatever the fuck he wants to do. If a GoFundMe serves its purpose, like he said, he wants to get out of the household that he's in and start anew because he doesn't have a job or nor the money to get another apartment, like, that's not really a scam. It's serving its purpose. The money goes to him to get out of the house. And also the other thing that you said, like, yeah, people would feel uncomfortable around you, even if you did something, if you did a certain crime, if people are under the impression that you raped a child or, I don't know, killed someone or whatever, people would feel uncomfortable. Or if you were just a thief in general, people would feel uncomfortable around you and would not want to live with you anymore. That is a rational response to this, okay? It's rational. This video seriously makes you seem like a really, really shitty person. I'm just saying. Not a very good look on you because you're just digging your own grave at this point.
Considering I was a fucking sobbing mess on the couch, laying in the fetal position, breaking down over the awful shit that he said to me.
Okay, you were sobbing and crying on the couch in the other room, right? Because of what Jack said to you. But what exactly did he say to you? Because, like, from the recording that he showed us, he just said that he doesn't want to support you, nor this kind of behavior anymore, and that he wants to move out. That is all that he said.
Jack was unemployed and hardly attempted to make any income through commissions. For the 9 months we stayed together, I would say that half of that time I was paying rent in full. We moved in November and Jack hadn't considered splitting rent until February. I had to beg Jack to pay only a third of rent with their Social Security, and he tried to refuse. That would be a total of a little under $300 a month out of the money that was meant to go toward things like rent. I don't think Jack even understands what that money was granted to him for. For the final 2 to 3 months that Jack was staying here, Jack was no longer receiving Social Security due to him not attending a court hearing. Meaning Jack stayed in my apartment rent-free in the time that he had the audacity to pull this shit. I paid for the food. Jack being autistic requires some pricey and specialty items to be constantly in stock. So this was more than just feeding 2 people and 2 cats.
No, okay, now I do understand that, like, having to pay rent in full because your roommate doesn't want to pay is a very shitty move on Jack's part. But also you have to understand that he can't really get employed because of his mental disabilities, because no one wants that on the workplace. And it's not exactly his fault because a lot of the corporations don't want autistic people, or just people with mental disabilities. They don't want them to work because they see us as inefficient and just in general stupid and retarded and yada yada. You get the point. You can't really blame Jack on being unemployed, but you can technically blame him for the income that he has gotten from the government. He could have paid rent with that money. He could have. He should have. And I don't know why he didn't. And I do feel sorry for you for having to pay rent all by yourself, while Jack still technically had some form of income that he could use to pay for rent.
But he's publicly celebrating my downfall and interacting with people who make art depicting violent and cruel acts on me. And he and everyone else feels justified doing this shit because pedos are bad.
Okay, well, this is also very shitty on Jack's part, because even though someone is a pedo and, or a groomer in her situation, this does not fucking excuse Jack's behavior in any way, or anyone that draws that stuff in general, because you are almost no better than Synni herself, because that is fucking vile. Just don't fucking interact with that person. Do not celebrate their downfall. Make like, informative videos. But this is a whole other level of stupidity. I swear to you. Look, as much as I love seeing the downfall of different kinds of shitty people, this is not it. You guys have to understand that this is not it. Christ.
And I'm gonna be honest, I consented to this because I've never had an IRL friend before and I didn't know what kind of touching was and wasn't okay.
My brother in Christ, you are an adult. You choose what touching is okay. There is no rule book.
Okay, now this is stupid, because, like, even as an adult, right, he is my age. Jack is my age, 19, and he's autistic, or just mentally disabled. I forgot what kind of other shit he has besides autism, right? But he's basically like me. I cannot consent, okay? I cannot consent because I'm stupid. And I'm pretty sure Jack also cannot really consent because he's stupid. Legitimately, our brain does not develop till the age of 25. That's what a lot of people say. That's what scientists, doctors say. How can someone at 19 consent to this stuff? Especially if they're fucking stupid. Like autistic and shit. Mentally challenged. They cannot fucking consent. Synni, you should have left Jack alone. I don't care what kind of goofy stuff you have going on. What kind of silly stuff or reactions you want from people. From him specifically in this situation. You need to get the fuck away from people. Do not touch them because they do feel pressured. They do not know what is right and what is wrong, okay? Because our brains legitimately are not developed till the age of 25. How many times do I have to say this?
I cook, I clean the apartment, I do the dishes, I do the laundry. You sometimes clean the litter boxes when I ask you to. I drive you to your appointments. I pay for your medicine. I take you on car rides when you're sad. I buy you ice cream every week. I have to fucking bribe you with ice cream so you'll get out of bed and go to Social Security to try to get your benefits back. I was taking care of you, and it's fucking wild that you have the audacity to paint me as a monster and call me a pedophile when you should know that isn't fucking true. I've always been by your side, as long as you were willing to get better. I stood by your side when the internet still hated you and thought you were a groomer. I stood by you when you drew over the Borderline 12 shooting memorial. I am heartbroken that you threw away our friendship as soon as it wasn't easy being my friend, when I have done everything for you. You are a fucking coward.
There was no need for you to get this fucking angry because I feel like this is a personal matter, in my honest opinion. I feel like this is a very personal matter that does not belong on the internet because this is between you two. You do not need to make this video because this situation is about you grooming a child. This is not a situation between who paid rent last or who paid for the groceries last. This feels like such a personal fucking video that should not be on the internet. I am sorry if I'm shouting, but I'm so fucking pissed at people who always fucking take their personal shit and put it on the internet for everyone else to see. Put it in a video with grooming allegations. You groomed a child. Yeah, you're here talking about how Jack doesn't fucking pay rent because he's unemployed, because he doesn't have enough money. He gets half of your fucking money, okay, from the government. I mean, I know he's irresponsible with that money. Everyone is irresponsible with their money, okay? People are fucking stupid. He is stupid. We are all stupid, okay? But this is a very personal matter. This should have been discussed between you two. This should not have been put on the internet under the label of, you know, addressing the allegations, addressing the grooming allegations specifically. Oh my god. You're turning a crime, basically, a literal crime, into pettiness, into personal business. Do you see how stupid that is? Because now you're just being painted as a shitty person for using all this personal information against someone who is who is supposed to be your friend anyways. I have no words. I'm sorry. I'm so fucking pissed at this video right now because I'm listening. I'm skimming through this shit for the second fucking time and it's making me so fucking pissed because this has nothing to do with the current situation. You're being stupid, Synni. You're being more moronic than everyone else on this planet right now with this personal vendetta. Like, oh my god. I have no words. I'm sorry. Like, I know people rant a lot about people they don't like on a personal level on the internet, but don't fucking put it in a video that has also serious allegations against you. This has nothing to do with it. How many times will I have to repeat myself? How many times will everyone have to repeat themselves? This has nothing to do with Jack. This has everything to do with you grooming a child. You dedicated 7 minutes to that victim, at best. In that original video that you made, you only dedicated like a minute at best to the actual victim. 1 minute! Good lord!
Something that keeps getting brought up is the fact that I'm simping over a minor's character. Okay, who fucking cares? The character is an adult, that is what matters. Sock is uncomfortable with how I'm using boy. They blocked me, I don't care.
So basically, a minor created a character called Boy, who is an adult, and you simped for that character. That's fine, but when you do it super inappropriately, like you did with the arts that you fucking made of that character, is fucking insane. Are you stupid? Obviously they're gonna block you. And you're just like, oh, I don't care. Motherfucker! The creator legitimately went up to you and asked you if you could stop doing that with that character. And you legit said, yeah, I will stop. And then you didn't stop. They're gonna block you. And you're like, oh, I don't care. Are you fucking stupid? From this video, what I understood, you do not care about boundaries. You do not care about the people around you. You only care about basically yourself and your stupid needs. You're so selfish throughout this entire fucking video. I cannot. You don't even fucking spare a minute, like an actual full minute on that victim, because you always bring up every other topic. I cannot. I'm so pissed. I'm sorry.
He had an issue with me talking about sex AIs in my 13+ server. This is actually something I believe was a problem. I shouldn't have talked about it in my server. That was irresponsible and cringe. And you know what? Someone did actually DM me saying that I shouldn't have been doing that, and I agreed with them and didn't do it again. I believe I contemplated making like a public apology within the server, but my mods told me not to. I don't have any evidence of this because the server was deleted and I didn't know how to export the files.
So she basically had sex bots in her 13+ server. Do you see how stupid that is? Like, you're acknowledging it now that it was stupid, that you should have done better, but you should have acknowledged that to not do it in the first place. If anything, you should have made, like, the server, you should have made it at least like 16 or 18+. I would say 18+ is the better option. Or, if anything, you should have made the server like 15 or 16+ and then made a channel exclusively for NSFW. And people should have to ask you for the role for that channel. And they should also give you their actual age to get into that channel. I'm just saying, it's a really easy fix. That's what I have in my server anyways. It's really not hard to not be this fucking stupid.
Jack says it would have been better if my server was 16+, and I will be honest, I don't know about that. You'd prefer if I was talking to 16-year-olds about which bots I can fuck?
You think that 16+ is too young of an audience, but then you talk to a fucking 14-year-old about this stuff. The irony is real.
If I ever make another Discord server, it is going to be 18+ with precautions to prove your age. This shit is annoying.
One can only assume and hope that she doesn't actually make a new server, because I feel like I'm talking on everyone's behalf, that I do feel like she should leave the internet. Probably, preferably, forever. I think if she has to be on the internet anyways, she should create a different account. But I would have preferred if she left the internet forever, went to therapy, gotten better, because this shit is fucking horrific. This video is a fucking disaster. I cannot stress this shit enough. This is like Pauline Bad video. She legitimately should just fucking bring out the ukulele and fucking sing a song, and it will be just as bad. For fuck's sake. These people don't know how to make an actual apology, nor a response to their to the actual criticism against them.
I don't feel safe here anymore after learning what happened.
I completely understand if my actions have made Jack trust me less, and he doesn't want to support me. I'm annoyed because I did that for him, but I'm not entitled to his presence in my life.
She got angry at him for making a GoFundMe so he can get the fuck out of this apartment earlier. The contradictories in this video are so insane, it's not even funny anymore.
Insists that he's in danger to some extent by staying with me? Do you think I'm gonna get you? Do you think I'm gonna hurt you? Genuinely, how are you in danger by staying with me? I've established how what I did wasn't sexual assault. You don't get to revoke your consent.
You made him uncomfortable. That is the problem.
It really feels like he's making the situation about himself. Literally nothing he's done has been in the interest of protecting Enno.
As if you did the same. You didn't do anything either. Like, you legitimately, like I said earlier, you only spent like 7 minutes at best talking about Enno. Or in your original apology, quote unquote, you legitimately gave Enno like 1 minute. You're being a hypocrite right now.
Do a lot of this. People can use this information to prey on Enno. Anna would have been kept safer if this entire situation was handled privately. Jack.
This would have been fucking better if you just admitted that you were a groomer, went off the internet, and also fixed your little friendship, I guess. Your little relationship with Jack privately. This video would be cut in half if that was the case. My video would be less long if that was the case.
None of this is being handled responsibly. Nothing he's doing is helping the supposed victim.
She's talking about handling this more maturely, more responsibly. Yet she couldn't fucking be more mature and responsible when talking to Anna in general. Like, why would you? A hypocrite. I'm telling y'all, she's a hypocrite right now. Like, Jack also has his own flaws, obviously, but this is a whole other fucking level. Because, like, if this situation was handled more maturely, this situation would not fucking exist. Because Synni would not be talking to that minor, and this wouldn't fucking exist, and they would still be, you know, the minor would still be happy making fan art for Synni. Synni would compliment them every once in a while. The fan arts, I mean, not Anna as a person, obviously. And Jack and Synni would also still be in an apartment together. Their friendship's still intact. I'm just saying. And this situation would not exist, and not many people would be making this kind of video. She's being contradictory, selfish, and very much hypocritical about this entire thing. And I'm listening to this for the second fucking time because I'm trying to figure out what the hell she is thinking by making this video. And this is only part 1, by the way.
I asked if I could stay at their place for the night, and they said that I couldn't. I feel bad because I screamed at them over the phone when they tried to assure me that I wasn't actually in danger. They were just trying to help me out of my delusion, and I screamed at them for it. We set up a plan where I parked in a different town. They drove to me, and they took my spare key, and then they went to my apartment to check all the rooms, and they told me it was safe to come. They left before I came home, and when I came, I held my pepper spray in my hand and I checked all the rooms myself. And when I saw my cat, I just started crying. Stupid doesn't understand what's going on. I don't feel safe in my own home anymore.
Again, this seems more like a personal matter. I don't know why she deliberately told everyone this. I mean, I guess it's for pity, to be honest. But at the same time, this was her own actions. She she continued to talk to a minor that has messaged her. And I don't know what she expected out of this. I do feel bad that she has to live in paranoia, because I know the USA is pretty shitty when it comes to security and stuff. But at the same time, like I said, this is her own fault. If she was responsible, if she was mature, this would not have happened. If she hadn't talked and sent explicit images and explicit texts to a minor, everything would still be fine right now. And this has been going on for 6 months and over at this point.
Now I'm 21 and my audience has grown too, but it's still mostly children. And I think I have trouble comprehending that when I speak in public spaces. These reasons and theories do not excuse what I've done. I think the best solution would just be to put myself in spaces with other adults and not let this become a problem again.
Or you could just, look, this is a suggestion, and I feel like this is a pretty popular suggestion as well, that you should get off the internet permanently. This is not healthy at all. The internet is a vile place, and obviously you cannot be here. You're not mentally stable enough to be here. So basically what I'm saying is, you should leave for your own protection and for everyone else's protection, because being on the internet fucks up your mind. And also then, with that fucked up mind, you corrupt everyone else. That's just how it works on the internet. It's very sad, and it's very fucked up, but it is what it is. For everyone's sake, get off the internet forever, please. In conclusion, this video was embarrassing for the most part. A lot of it was self-pity at the end of the day. A lot of it was also hypocrisy, selfishness, and a lot of just contradictory points made in this entire video. Like I said, I do feel like Synni should get off the internet permanently, get help for her own mental stability, and also for, for her to basically get away from minors as much as possible, because this is really, really not good, honestly, for her or for anyone else. And since her audience is basically a bunch of minors, this makes it even worse, to be honest. Really, people like this should get off the internet for everyone's sakes, because she has paranoia from all of this, and her own mental health is so fucked up. She should go outside, be outside, not interact with the internet at all, because it's really just a toxic environment for her, for people like her in general. She will forever be known as a predator, as a groomer on the internet. Everyone will forever remember her that way. Thank you for sticking till the end. This video is very fucking long. I had to cut out a bunch of things. And I hope you have a good day, and also take my wording throughout this entire video with a mountain of salt, because this, like I said, is unscripted. I don't have any tabs open, so I could be wrong about a lot of things. Like, constructive criticism is welcome. Hate is not welcome. If you're gonna hate on any of the points I made, please leave. I'm not knowledgeable on any of these parts. I do not make art commentary videos at all. So yeah, anyways, like I said, have a good day, and if you ever see another predator, please report them and block them. That is all. Don't make heinous arts about it. Thank you. Goodbye.